Hello everyone and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And the baby BOKS South Africa under 20 have just edged the Los Pumitas, the Argentina under 20 side, 33 points to 26 in an epic clash down in Stellenbosch in inclement weather, very wet conditions, very muddy conditions, a very, very tight encounter, very hard fought, very physical clash with a lot of really good talent on display. It's the best thing about watching these junior games is seeing players who are young, finding themselves, developing in their careers, playing some really, really good rugby. I thought we saw some very good performances, particularly from the two number 10s in that game. Jordan Henderson was terrific for the SA under-20s, I think, scoring about 21 points himself. A very, very impressive performance from Ntleko's side, and I think a much improved performance from their game against Uruguay on Friday. Very different because on Friday they kind of struggled to get going, but this side, this game from the get-go, put the authority on, but Argentina refused to go away. Before you break the game down, please do smash like on the video, subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. Right, so the game started in very good fashion with a couple of penalties being kicked and a nice try by Kanan Moody, who ended up with a brace, another brace. He's having an absolutely terrific series, 4 tries in 2 games for the youngster from the Bulls. But the first try was very well worked, and it was some good handling there from Hendricks, Sasso and Lovu, did very well to draw a few players and get the offload off. But Argentina didn't go away, and the halftime score was 17 points to 13. Very much a kicking game, a couple of very good penalties converted from both sides. But the Argentina pack was giving the baby BOKS a real run for their money. Whenever Argentina had the put in at the scrums, they were absolutely decimating the baby BOKS. It was a huge effort from that Argentinian front row. With their hooker Berlusconi in particular doing a lot of damage, scoring a try himself, very nice try off the rolling maul. And so it was important for South Africa early in the second half to try and get start sort of building a lead, because Argentina were refusing to go away. And they did that. A couple of penalty goals being slotted, and a nice try again from Kanan Moody. Was sort of towards the right hand side of the scrum, was very nicely worked. Kieran Horner, I thought, had quite a good game with drawing the man, and then a lot to do did Kanan Moody, and still managed to get over very nicely in the second half. So some very nicely worked tries, but a very, very good effort from Argentina. Once again, that pack would not stop working. On the defense, they had some very good rolling mauls, very good at scrum time, and I think that'll be a major aspect of the game that the SC under-20s will want to try and rectify, because they were really sort of physically out-muscled up front. The scrums-wise, lots of penalties. Look, I mean, if you look at the scrum success rate, it was pretty even. South Africa winning 7 of 8 of their scrums. So when the South Africans had the put-in, they were quite solid. But as soon as Argentina had that put-in, they won 10 out of 10 scrums, and they won a lot of meters from it, a lot of penalties. Penalties conceded by the end of the game, 14 points to 13. So discipline wasn't too bad, but a lot of handling errors for both sides. More from the SN 20s, but it was very wet, so you can kind of understand that. Possession was 43% for South Africa, 57% for Argentina. Lineouts was 100% success rate for Argentina, 10 out of 11 for the baby BOKS. But on the ground was a major issue for South Africa. They conceded 18 turnovers and won 11. So that was an aspect of the game that Argentina were really good at. The breakdown, they were very good. Stole quite a lot of ball there. I think that's where the baby BOKS just need to be a little bit better at looking after the ball. But defensively, I was very impressed with the baby BOKS effort today, because especially towards the end of the game, there was a long period where Argentina were on the front foot, trying to sort of get that final try and level up the scores, going for that draw, and that SC under-20 defense held up very firm before forcing a turnover, and after a couple of messy scrums, they eventually managed to kick it in touch and take the game away. So it was a good performance from SC under-20s. They held a couple of players back against Uruguay, brought in a few players, and they made a big difference. I thought Henke van Veek played very well. I thought Jordan Hendricks was very good. Bradley Davis played very well at scrum half. Another good game from Sasko and Lovu. The front row was pretty good in open play, but as I said, it sort of struggled a little bit at scrum time. So that'll be a little bit of a worry. I thought Kieran Horn was very good at the back. So it was an impressive performance. There was a lot of skills being displayed. Obviously, it wasn't the perfect performance, and I think that all the players will have a little bit that they can probably still work on. But this was pretty much a bit of a preview of what we assume we will see in the final. The top sides will be going into the final after this in this under-20 series. Given the fact that Argentina pummeled Georgia, the junior BOKS didn't have too many issues against Uruguay. Uruguay now beating Georgia 20 points to 15. We kind of largely assume that it will be an Argentina-South Africa final. And I think that if today is anything to go by, it should be a cracker of a game. I mean, a couple of ill-disciplined issues, a lot of pushing and shoving, which is a little bit trivial. I think it was a little bit pointless, but some very good rugby players, and I was very impressed with the Argentina pack. They've got some very, very big boys. Equally, I thought the Springbok backline looked very good. So I think that there's a lot of talent on display, and once again, for a country like South Africa, which produces so many good schoolboy players, it's good to see that these players are kicking on. And I think we can see quite a few of these players up in the unions. We've already seen the likes of Andre Hugo Venter, Jordan Henderson, Jan Hendrik Wessels. We've already seen them at professional level, and I think there could be quite a few players following suit very soon. Let me know what you thought of the game down in the comments below. Smash like on the video. It's 2 from Papana Nhleko and his men, so they go marching on. They'll meet Georgia early next week, and then they'll prepare for the playoffs in the Under-20 series. But so far, looking really, really good for them. Thank you very much for watching. Please do smash like, subscribe to the channel as well. My name is Steven. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll chat to you very soon.